I'm Ben Tozzi, and welcome to another episode here. This is a fighting long gun, and before I showed you my 500 Mossberg road blocker, and that was my great home defense weapon of choice for many years until Kel Tec came out with this new KSG model. This is a brilliant design, and man, does it work great. It feels great. It's just a great gun all around. I find this far superior to my road blocker in a number of different ways. Road blocker still holds a special place in my heart, but this one definitely is the smarter choice, and let's go through why. First of all, I'll show you that the chamber is empty. If you can see in there, it is. And we'll just pop that back out. Alright, now what I like about this is it's definitely compact. I mean, this is very short weapon. It's only a little more than 2 feet in length, and it weighs less than 7 pounds, let's put it that way. And it's great. I can have a Picatinny rail on it with a nice big scope. It's also got the manual sights that you can see just in case something goes wrong with that. The reason I really like this is because it holds an awful lot of firepower. With 3-inch shells, you can get 12 shells and also 1 in the chamber, so you have a total of 13 3-inch shells. Now I use the 2 3/4 inch shells, so I can get an extra 2 shots out of that. So instead of 13 shots, I got 15 shots, and that's just amazing. That's a lot of firepower. You don't have to worry about reloading in the middle of the night if someone breaks into the house, and you can even divide them up a little bit, and I'll show you how. On the bottom here, we have a switch that changes which magazine you're going to be loading from. And one magazine, I always have slugs in. The other one, I always have the buckshot or whatever shot I'm using at the time. In my house, I use the buckshot. I'm just not comfortable with using just 4-shot, even though it should be adequate. They're going to get the full buckshot if they come in. So all I need to do is flip a switch, and there I'm on the shell. So if I started out with the buckshot and I needed to go into a slug for some reason, maybe I chased them out to the car, or they're in the car, I should have probably let them go, but if I needed to, all I have to do is switch it over, and I got a slug coming out, so that'll penetrate the windshield, the door, or whatever I need to penetrate right there. Or if they're hiding behind a wall and I wanted a little extra penetration, I have that. So that's a brilliant design. Again, you're never underpowered with this firearm with 15 shots of 12 gauge. That's just an amazing amount of power. Now I also like it because, as I mentioned with the road blocker, I have a staircase in my house, and to go down the staircase, which I would need if someone broke in, I need to go to the right. And as a right-hander, this is very easy to point and be able to control around that staircase and around doorways. It goes into the doorways. When you're pieing the doorway, you can get into it very well with this shorter bullpup design, and that's the brilliance of this firearm. It's short enough, but I mean, if the capacity is just great. Yeah, I know there's greater capacities if you get a drum on one of these things, but that's just a little ludicrous for the house. This is perfect. If I have to bug out, this baby is coming with me. Okay, I mean, you could hunt with it, you can shoot game with it if you need to. There's really no need to, because we're not in the situation yet, but you can if you want. There is one modification I would put on this right now, and that I would change out to an M-Pro sight, so it's night sight as well as no batteries. This is a battery operated one. I just haven't replaced it, but that's next on my list anyway. I do have a couple shoulder harnesses that rig up to this very nicely, so just strapping it onto yourself and keeping it on your back. You put a coat over it and nobody's really going to know that you even have the firearm in there. You just sling it around to the front and there you go, you're ready to use this thing. So it's a brilliant design. It's reliable as all get-outs. I've never had a misfire in this. I've used this again in tactical courses. I have not done competitions with this, but tactical courses, this is just a brilliant piece of machinery. So it's the Kel Tec KSG firearm. It's 12-gauge shotgun, 12 plus 1 in the chamber for capacity if you're using the 3-inch shells, and it's got 7 and 7 or 14 and 1 in the chamber if you're using the 2 3/4 inch shells. Again, just a flip of the switch will bring you over from the one stockpile of 7 shots over to the next. So you're just one finger move away from resupplying yourself with ammo. You don't have to load in the field as much, and that makes it a brilliant piece for your home too, because if you just wake up in the middle of the night and you grab your firearm and your flashlight, yeah, you're pretty well set for your hands. Loading up another set of 6 is going to be very difficult. So the extra capacity again is brilliant. Great design, feels good, it's solid, never had a problem with it. It's Kel Tec KSG. Oh, one last thing. I was foolish when these things first came out. I live in Massachusetts, so finding any kind of firearm usually is quite the hassle. And there was one in the firearms store that I used to frequent, and they only got the one in because they were on a limited basis, and it was a contest they were holding. They weren't going to sell it outright. So they started holding a contest, and the MSRP on this is somewhere around $900 to $1,000 depending on where you are. And they were stating that it was about $1,200 at the time. So this was the first model they got in, and what I did is I just went in with $1,800. I wanted this weapon a lot. I've researched it a lot before it came into Massachusetts, searched high and low for it. My firearms store happened to be the one that got it, and I just paid them the extra money because you know, sometimes when you want to have something, you just pay a little extra and you get it. So a beautiful firearm, excellent fighting firearm, especially for your home. And again, if there's a bug out situation necessary, this baby's coming with me. Again, as I mentioned in another video with the Mossberg 500 road blocker, I like the shorter design, whether it be the pistol grip of the Mossberg or in the Kel Tec KSG instance, the bullpup design. Since this is so short, I mean, it's just a little bit longer than my arm. So if someone would have grabbed me and I was in an actual fight with this, is very hard to wrestle out of a person's hands. You've got such a good grip on this pistol grip here. You've got it so tight into your body that there's no leverage if they try to grab it. It's very hard for them to get their hands around to get a good grip on it like a regular shotgun you could. The grip is pretty substantial. I mean, to get your whole hand around it, you have to have monster type of hands. So to get that leverage to get it out of your hands is going to be very, very difficult. So fighting with this is excellent. You've got the butt here, which is an excellent weapon in itself. Also the barrel, because the barrel is a little broader, as you can see. This is not going to cause any damage if you just jam this into someone's gut. Plus the sharp edges all around, they are going to tear their hands up quite substantially if they try to lock on to that. So that's another aspect to these bullpup designs and a shorter firearm. In a fighting aspect, not just a shooting or target practice or even clearing your house. This is really solid because it's going to be able to stay with you longer. It'll give you a more secure grip, and you're less likely to have it wrestled away from you. Another design feature of the bullpups, which is just brilliant.